Something terrible happens. A loss, a betrayal, a moment so overwhelming it should shatter you. And you feel it starting, the heaviness in your chest, the pressure building behind your eyes, the tightness in your throat. Your body begs for release. It wants to cry. It needs to cry, but nothing comes. You're stuck in that silent, agonizing space where the pain is real, but the tears won't fall. People look at you and assume you're calm, detached, or even strong. But inside, you're breaking, and no one sees it. Because the world only recognizes pain when it's visible. And yours isn't. If you've ever desperately wanted to cry but couldn't, you know the truth. This isn't strength. This isn't indifference. It's isolation. It's emotional paralysis. It's one of the loneliest places a human can sit. And there is a reason your body won't let you release. Let's start with the simple question nobody really asks. What is crying? Most people think tears are just emotional overflow. But biologically, crying is a reset mechanism, a neurological release valve. When emotions hit a threshold your brain can't regulate, the parasympathetic nervous system steps in. Tears release oxytocin and endorphins, chemicals that calm the internal chaos. Crying is not weakness. Crying is wiring. So what happens when the wiring fails? For many, the system isn't broken, it's blocked. Psychologists call this emotional alexithymia. You feel the emotion, but your body can't translate it into expression. The pain registers, the grief registers, the pressure builds. But the signal from I feel to I release gets trapped. And that emotional traffic jam leaves you holding everything with no way out. But here's where it gets darker. Most people who can't cry didn't wake up this way. They were trained. Think back. What did your childhood teach you about crying? Were your tears met with comfort or with annoyance? Did someone hold you or tell you to stop? Crying makes you weak. Stop being dramatic. You're too sensitive. Every time a child is dismissed, shamed, or punished for expressing emotion, their nervous system learns a dangerous rule. Crying is unsafe. Vulnerability equals rejection. And the body adapts, not consciously, but defensively. A wall forms, a reflex, a tightening. You don't choose to stop crying. Your body learns that crying means losing love, and it refuses to risk that again, even decades later. But childhood conditioning isn't the only force at play. Some people can't cry because they've been strong for too long. They're the reliable one, the anchor, the person everyone leans on. For them, crying isn't release, it's collapse. It's admitting that the armor isn't impenetrable. It's letting someone see how close to breaking they really are. And that feels more dangerous than pain. This is called hypervigilant emotional regulation, a nervous system that's always scanning for threat. And vulnerability is interpreted as the biggest threat of all. So when grief hits, when heartbreak hits, when loss hits, your body doesn't open. It locks down, your jaw tightens, your chest hardens, your throat numbs. Not because you don't feel, but because some part of you believes that if you start crying, you'll never stop. And here's the painful irony. People who can't cry often feel more intensely than people who cry easily. Why? Because crying releases emotion. Not crying traps it. The grief stays in the body. The anxiety stays in the body. The sadness stays in the body. It transforms into tension, exhaustion, numbness, migraines, insomnia, digestive issues. The body begins expressing what the eyes won't, because unexpressed emotion doesn't disappear. It just reroutes. But there's still one more layer almost no one recognizes. Some people can't cry because they're emotionally exhausted. They've cried too much already. They've suffered loss after loss, trauma after trauma, without recovery time. And eventually, the nervous system flips its circuit breaker, not to heal you, but to protect you from total collapse. This is emotional shutdown dissociation. Your brain says, if I let you feel this, you won't survive, and it numbs everything. Not just sadness, everything. You watch something heartbreaking and feel nothing. You hear news that should shatter you and stay completely flat. You feel like a ghost inside your own life. And because there are no tears, people think you're fine, but you're not fine. You're overloaded. So what do you do if you're someone who can't cry? First, understand you're not broken. Your body is doing what it was trained to do: protect you. The problem is the protection has become a prison. Second, you can't force tears. Crying is not triggered by thoughts, it's triggered by safety. You need to show your nervous system that emotional release won't lead to punishment, abandonment, or collapse. And that takes time. Body-level time. Not intellectual time. It might mean therapy. It might mean solitude. It might mean movement or breath work, physical outlets your body accepts while it still rejects tears. But above all, stop judging yourself. Crying is not the measure of whether you're healing. It's just one path of many. And if you can't cry, remember this. You're not cold. You're not numb. You're not unfeeling. You're someone whose body learned that vulnerability was dangerous. Someone who survived by shutting down the signal of release. Someone who's still waiting to feel safe enough to fall apart. And when the day comes that the tears finally do fall, it won't be weakness. It will be one of the bravest things you've ever done. If this speaks to you, subscribe to the Unspoken Self. This is where we explore the psychology that hides in silence, the emotions people feel but never show. And if you need a community that understands what it's like to feel everything and express nothing, join us. You're not alone.